Wow, this is exciting. So I haven't been live for a while, and I'm hoping that a few of you will join me today. So I wanted to come on today to talk specifically around energy, because it's a conversation that we've been having on different social streams today around how comfortable do you feel protecting your energy? And I don't just mean in your sport. So of course, we're really conscious, I think, as athletes, we're conscious about our energy, but maybe we're not so conscious about how we generate our energy. And there's a thing that Brendan Bouchard talks about, which is we don't have energy, we generate it. And so we need to be in tune with our energy and knowing where our natural ebb and flow is, to then be in touch with what actually helps us to generate our energy and being conscious to protect it. So rather than doing a post, I really wanted to come on and do a live today. And I'm going to start doing these as a regular Friday afternoon live. So it'd be great if you come and join me. Do let me know if you're live or you're watching this on the replay. I'm on different screens, so if I end up looking away, it's only because I'm on Instagram on one and LinkedIn and I think YouTube and Facebook on another one as well. So thinking about your energy and really how to protect it. This is kind of hands up. This is something that I work on constantly because it's not always very natural to be thinking about our energy in this way and how to protect it in order to optimize our performance. But one of the first things, I'm going to go through different tools that you can use. There's no particular order. See what resonates, try it out, and let me know how you get on with it. But one of the first ones I wanted to talk about is boundaries. So being clear about where you want to put your energy. So first of all, that's really important, rather than thinking about where other people might be expecting you to be spending your energy. So if you think of energy like currency, thinking of it as your money, where do you want to be spending your energy? We only have, if you think of it in terms of kind of limited resources, you only have a certain amount. And if you think of it in that way, from a mindset perspective, from a language perspective, that will help you to think about where you want to spend it. So thinking about what you're a yes for, where are you going to be putting that energy, which then on the flip side, we start to be a bit more conscious about where are we going to say no and where are we going to keep those boundaries. So whether it's in relationships, friendships, in your work, going on social media, using technology, what are you a yes for? Where do you want that energy to go? And then what are you a no for? Where are you going to put those boundaries in place? And this is where mindset comes in, is making sure that we're then holding ourselves accountable, because it can be very easy in a space like this to set a boundary. And then actually when it comes to it, and then maybe there's some pushback, especially if you're setting boundaries with other people and they're not necessarily used to you setting those boundaries. Initially, there might be that pushback. And so then you've got to lean into yourself and hold yourself accountable so that you remind yourself why you're doing this. And you're doing this to protect your energy, which is then going to help you to optimize your performance. So kind of really digging deep into that side of things. Another one is around limiting distractions. Now, from a brain perspective, our brain isn't built to multitask. And as a female, no matter how much we're told that females can multitask, we're not designed, none of us are designed to multitask. And our brain just doesn't work at its optimum when we're multitasking, when we're going from one thing to another. It takes, and I'm sure you've noticed this, it takes a bit of time to get into something. And then if you're then switching to another thing, you're using different parts of the brain. And actually our brain can't kind of work that quickly. So if you're in deep focused work and you're reducing your distractions, your brain's much more optimized. And then when you move to another thing or another task, again, it's going to be that much better for your brain performance. If you're doing that in a way that's quite focused and structured, rather than flitting around, moving from one thing to another. So removing distractions is a great way to protect your energy. Now, this could be the environment that you're in. So it really depends on what you're doing. You're training or working or in relationships. finding ways that you can minimize distraction. Now, I would grab my phone, but I've got Instagram on there. This is personally one of the things I struggle with, is having my phone always there and having my watch always buzzing to tell me notifications. So I'm kind of minimizing those and being a bit more conscious about putting the phone maybe in a different room when you're not wanting to be distracted. Now, this is constant work, so I think it's really important that we say where there's something that is a challenge for us as coaches as well. But thinking about yourself, wherever you are, whatever you're wanting to focus on, just being conscious about where you can minimize distractions, maybe where obstacles tend to show up for you or distractions tend to appear, and then making a conscious decision. All of the things I'm going to talk about is really about having a conscious decision to minimize these things or to take action to optimize an area in order to protect your energy. So I've realized on Instagram, I'm not able to write to say what this video is about. So this video is about protecting your energy outside of your sport to optimize your performance. So another one is taking breaks, thinking about small breaks that you can take throughout the day. So multiple times in your day where you could go for a short walk or do a stretch or do some deep breathing exercises, maybe do a 10-15 minute meditation, having multiple points in your day where you take micro breaks, so small breaks throughout the day. And then thinking about where you can have larger breaks, so meso breaks, which are like 1 to 2 hours a week. Again, maybe thinking about this kind of deep focus in that area. So for me, it's playing music. So I play in a band, and having that time where you can then be spending a longer period on optimizing your energy, on protecting your energy. So it could be going out for a longer walk. It could be spending time with family and friends, and I mean like quality time with them, or engaging in a music activity, or whatever it is, something that is outside of your sports field, but where you can be in these kind of longer breaks over a week. And then looking at macro breaks, where can these bigger chunks of time, so a half a day or a whole day, where maybe once a month, can then again kind of have deep focused protected energy time. Maybe it's a day trip out, maybe it's a day away with your family, whatever it is. Again, being conscious about where are these things that you can put into your time. We're going to talk about calendaring in the next bit. Where can you then be putting this time to that's going to help to protect your energy, with the underlying reason that you're going to feel good. First and foremost, you're going to feel good doing this, but also it's going to optimize your performance. And that's what your driver is for doing this. And we need to have a why. In terms of our mindset, we need to have a reason why we're doing something. Otherwise, that motivation is just going to wane. So you have to generate that motivation by tapping into your reason why you're doing this. So I said I was going to mention about taking control of your calendar. So when we start to look at these multiple breaks throughout the day or throughout the week or throughout the month, they're not going to happen unless we schedule them. And you have to schedule in your calendar as if you were meeting a friend or a loved one or a colleague at work who you completely respect and would not want to disappoint. So I want you to see yourself in the same way. You block time for yourself, and that's non-negotiable unless something absolutely urgent comes in. And even then, it's more about moving that blocker rather than cancelling it completely, because you taking care of your own energy is so important. So looking at your calendar, actually scheduling out that time, blocking out the time, working out what you've already got going on, maybe seeing in your calendar where the times where you know that your energy is going to be dipping, where you've maybe got loads of things going on, you can see it in your calendar. They're the times where you've really got to dig in, and you've got to schedule in those times. Even if it's just the micro breaks, that needs to be scheduled in. And I'm going to be talking about how I can help you with that at the end of this session. The next one is becoming more in tune with yourself. Now, this is key in terms of protecting your energy. You need to know where your natural ebb and flow of your energy is. So are there certain times of the month? Are there certain times of the week where you just know that whatever's going on, your energy is maybe a bit more diminished than it is other times. Likewise, let's look on the flip side. There will be times where you know that naturally you have a peak in energy, you feel insatiable, you can get anything done, you're invincible, and if you journal, look back over your journal and see where are those days where you've been like, I'm just smashing it, I'm feeling amazing, everything's great, this is wonderful. Notice those days and notice the days like, I just don't have any energy at all, I'm really tired, I'm really lethargic. Whatever it is, start to become in tune with yourself, and then start to listen to your inner self-talk as well. Are there certain points or are there certain triggers where you just notice that your self-talk is impacting your energy for better or worse? Seeing where you're feeling overwhelmed. What are your triggers for overwhelm? We all have different triggers for feeling overwhelmed. So starting to notice that. What are the activities? What are you doing? What are the interactions that just start to creep in with you feeling overwhelmed and feeling like you're kind of losing control? And also knowing what good rest looks like to you. Again, rest, as in kind of quality rest, can look completely different to each of us. And it depends on our circumstances as well, the environment that we're in. Thinking about what is a good rest, what does that look like to you? What does it feel like to you as well? And I was having a conversation earlier with a client, and we talked about rest and seeing rest as an important part of optimizing your performance. Resting isn't lazy. It can be a really important part of your performance. So again, that's a mindset thing of seeing rest in a different way. And then understanding where your energy drainers are. Now, again, this can be different for each of us. What might drain my energy could be something that lifts your energy. For instance, some people feel really drained when they're surrounded by a lot of people. Now, maybe that's something that really lifts me, but I know that I can't sustain that over a kind of longer period of time, maybe for 2 or 3 days at a max. And then I need to go and have some kind of quiet downtime on my own to just mong out. So again, it's thinking about where you can protect your energy and where are your energy drainers, where are your energy leaks. And again, kind of going back to that first point about boundaries, then being conscious about where you can set your boundaries so that those energy drainers don't come in. Or like I've said about being around people, can really lift me up, but then I need some downtime after. Maybe it's the same. It's about being conscious where those things that kind of can lift you up, but then can also drain you if you're not consciously in control of it. So another one is thinking about practicing gratitude. So a great way to shift from a negative energy into a positive energy is to practice the art of gratitude. Now, I know that I'm telling you nothing new. I'm sure that you know this, but in reality, do you do it? So there's the thing around kind of what's common knowledge might not always be common practice. And it doesn't have to be anything too elaborate. Actually, for me, a theme this week and a mantra that's been coming in has been that it gets to be simple. And gratitude is such a simple practice. You don't need anything fancy. You don't even need to write it down. You can just be practicing this in your head. So thinking about maybe say 3 things that you're grateful for right now, and tapping into the reason why you're grateful for them. So it's not just reeling off, I'm grateful that I have a house. I'm grateful for the area that I live in. I'm grateful for the sport that I play, whatever it is. Actually delving deeper into why are you grateful for that thing. And then what shifts is how you feel. You really notice that your energy shifts into a positive one. And that's going to protect your energy. If we can be nourishing ourselves, reminding ourselves of the things that we're grateful for, shifting into that positive energy, that's going to protect our current energy. And if we think about that underlying reason, that's going to help us to optimize our performance in our field. So there are so many things that I've spoken about today, but I hope that some of them have resonated with you. Let me know if there's any that you're going to be trying out, and just kind of over the weekend, especially if you've got games, or maybe you've got a game today and rest over the weekend, being conscious about how you're going to protect your energy. Really it's down to you. You've got to take ownership of this. like, it is your responsibility. So I hesitated because I thought it's going to sound really harsh, but actually it's true. Your energy is your responsibility. It's actually nobody else's. Like we've said about boundaries and energy drainers, that's other people doing them, but you're the one that's responsible for your energy. So you have to manage how you respond to external events, how you manage your energy, the energy that you give to certain things. So your energy is your responsibility. Now, I've mentioned about the importance of scheduling and putting in time to have these different breaks, to look at ways you can protect your energy. If looking at protecting your energy is something you'd really want to work on, and you want to look more about this kind of scheduling side, how you can manage your time in order to protect your energy, I really would recommend signing up to the replay for my free masterclass all around 90-day strategies. Now, the link is live until midnight tonight. Once you've signed up, you can watch it back anytime you want, but I'm going to keep the link to the replay open until midnight tonight. And there's a special bonus in there to work with me as well. So if you want to hop into that, and I really recommend just sign up for it and you can watch it back anytime. The link is, I'll pop it onto Instagram in a minute in the comments, but also it should be in the title to the videos on the Facebook group, LinkedIn and YouTube. So I would love to see you in there, and thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great to be back doing lives again. Have a great weekend.